We had our mayoral primary not that long ago where we had to narrow the field down to two people. I guessed what two, predicted what two would be in the final running. That who you see on your screen right now, City Council President Mary Sheffield and Pastor Bishop Kinlock from Triumph Church. I knew they would be the last two. Typically, journalists don't interview one candidate when there are multiple candidates running. But what you will see from Roland Martin interviewing Mary Sheffield on his show, Roland Martin Unfiltered, is that there is strong indication that Mary Sheffield will win this election. She had about 50% of the vote in the primary. Pastor Bishop Kinlock had around 14, 15, 16% of the voting percentage. And it's going to be difficult for the man of God because people don't typically like pastors in executive roles. They will like them in legislative roles, as you can see by Senator from Georgia being elected and other Congress people being elected who are from the clergy. But an executive branch position is going to be kind of tough for him to win, but anything is possible. I wanted to talk to you today because Roland asked City Council President Mary Sheffield a question about education. And it was a great response on her part. And I want you to see it right now.
Quality of life obviously is one of those things, but what goes into that also are schools. When businesses are looking to relocate, they're looking at transportation, they're looking at quality of life, they're looking at entertainment, they're looking also at schools as well. And so obviously that's not under your purview, but that also has to be a significant issue when you're talking about how do you attract people, how do you attract families who you want to be there for generations, not just transient where they come and go.
Most definitely. And we have a robust plan working with our school board and our superintendent. Right now, the number one issue facing our school system in Detroit is absenteeism. Our kids are not showing up to school, and oftentimes it's social determinants that are preventing our young people from showing up, whether it's transportation, parents or families have issue with childcare. And so the city can be a greater partner in that regard. We also have to ensure that we're exposing our young people to skilled trades and vocational training and exposing them to other alternatives outside a traditional four-year college degree. And so I plan on being a very active and hands-on mayor as it relates to education. While we may not control the school system, we can open up our rec centers, our libraries, use partner organizations and sites to ensure that there's robust after-school programming for our young people to get the additional educational support that they need. So we're going to be a great partner. While the mayor doesn't control, we don't need to control, but we can achieve a significant increase in the outcome of our young people as it relates to education.
So everything that City Council President Mary Sheffield said, of course, candidate for Detroit mayor, the election is going to be in November with Pastor Kinlock and Mary Sheffield running against each other. The answer that she gave for the question in regards to education was spot on. She said that one of the important things in Detroit public schools was the issue of absenteeism. She is correct. Around 80% of Detroit public school students miss 20 days or more. 80%. So that was correct. She did not, though, talk about what I am going to talk about as a solution to some of those problems that she may have and can institute as mayor of the city of Detroit. The other thing she talked about was giving students within the district other ideas on regards to employment opportunities, whether it be she talked about skilled trades, of course, is correct. And also in the STEM field, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, whether it be AI, whether it be in network administration, whether it be in cybersecurity, those things are options. So again, she was spot on in regards to that. And in the last area that she mentioned, she said having to assist the public schools with organizational cooperation with the schools. Another spot on answer in regards to organizations who are not under the purview of the mayor and not a part of city government and not a part of the district, having an opportunity to partner with those students. Now, the question would be, what are the things that those organizations should work on, and how should they do that? And I am glad that I am the person right here to answer that question. Since the end of the pandemic, I have been inside of the Detroit Public Schools at least 250 times. Last year, I was regularly in Southeastern High School 2 times a week helping those individuals. And here are the things that kids need to deal with. Absenteeism is a symptom of trauma. Let me say that again. Absenteeism is a symptom of trauma. And so one of the things that the district can do with this partnering organization and the organizations that come into contact with students and their parents is teach everyone under the purview of the mayor about trauma-informed care and trauma-informed practices. How is it that we interact with students and their parents in that they are able to deal with the symptoms of their trauma? That's thing number one. Or another solution that we can use is, beside trauma-informed care, it is the using of social and emotional learning to improve the emotional intelligence of students. What you see is bullying. What you see is fighting. What you see are arguments. What you see is skipping. What you see is substance abuse through vaping, through marijuana use, through intoxicating beverages. Those are all the things you see. And so what we have to do in the Detroit Public Schools is teach all of the stakeholders trauma-informed care, social and emotional learning, so we could deal with the symptoms. Absenteeism is a symptom. Vaping is a symptom. Skipping school is a symptom. Your schoolwork is a symptom. Not doing it is a symptom of trauma. And so if we were to implement trauma-informed care and improving the core competencies of emotional intelligence with social and emotional learning, that means bus drivers need to be taught about social and emotional learning, trauma-informed care. People that come into contact, whether they be in the offices of the mayor, whether they be in the first responders that are under the purview, whether it's police, whether it's firefighters, whether it's EMS, we all have to work on one accord in regards to using trauma-informed care and social and emotional learning. That is why during the pandemic, I wrote a book called The Ghetto Grave Dodger: How Social and Emotional Learning Can Address Trauma, Decrease Violence, and Improve Struggling Students. I did that because I knew that we would be in the situation that we are in now. In the book, I teach strategies that kids are dealing with right now, of issues that kids are dealing with right now, and how it is that we can implement these strategies to help them deal with the symptoms that they are dealing with. And I use my life as a Detroiter, as an African-American man, as an author, as a proud Detroit Public School student graduate, as a Big Ten University graduate, on how it is with an educator who taught fourth grade, fifth grade, seventh grade, eighth grade, who was the dean of students, who was an assistant principal, athletic director, who worked with African American kids and kids in the Detroit public schools through inside the classroom, outside the classroom as a coach. The things that they can do to help them be more successful. Some of my reviewers of the book said that every African American male student needs to read this book. Other of my reviewers of the book said that this book is something that everyone should read because it will have a positive impact on their life. I really believe in this book. You could go to DEIapparel.com, buy some great sweatshirts, hoodies, and also my book for you to get an opportunity to have answers to the pain points and the issues that we are dealing with here in the city of Detroit. And it's also applicable to people who are not just young people, but also to adults as well. And it has an impact not just in the city of Detroit, but everywhere that people are dealing with the symptoms of trauma. And that is everywhere, because we know that the CDC said that our country is dealing with a mental health crisis. This book that I have written will help deal with that crisis. Thank you. And go to DEIapparel.com, pick up your copy of the book and some hoodies and some t-shirts. Take care.